Okay, so today was our second scrimmage, and really the last time we'll be a full group, good on good. Monday we'll do a little kind of controlled half scrimmage, but it'll be all mixed up, and split the team and get ready for hopefully a fun and competitive game next weekend. I think it's going to be a lot of great energy and a lot of guys excited to go compete. When you split the team, you'll see a lot of guys get a lot of reps. So be a good evaluation day for us to finish spring. But a lot of great things today. I loved how we ran the football. Super impressed with our running backs. A lot of big plays. I did not think our mindset defensively was where it needed to be as far as stopping the run. But man, then the defense, I thought they kind of flipped the script. They created some turnovers in the red zone. They created a safety in coming off the goal line. So we had some turnovers, a couple interceptions, we had a fumble recovery, and then there was a lot of big plays off it. So it was one of those days. There's some good and bad on both sides. Had way too many penalties on offense. Some really critical penalties. Bad snap in the 2-minute drill. But both offenses won the game in our 2-minute drill today. It was good to see that. We had a game-winning field goal with Potter, game-winning field goal with Whites. Worked on every phase of special teams today. So this is a really good day, very thorough practice. The effort's good, but we got a long way to go to be able to. We'd have gotten smashed today, with the mistakes. Too many critical penalties. Missed tackles, had some bad mistakes in the red zone with some details of what we've got to do in those situational things, and but again, turned it over. So lots of mistakes. We've got a stop in a 2-minute drive situation, but our defense lines up offside. So it gives them life, they go win the game. So costly mistakes on both sides, some really good things on both sides. But again, way too many mistakes to be able to win. And so we got a lot of work to do. We'll grade this, coach them up from that. Thank goodness we don't play today. But I think that if we can learn from what we put on tape this spring, carry into our plan out that we have for post-spring and into the summer, we've got a chance to be a good football team. See a lot of positive things in our offensive line. Really, really pleased with the depth that we're really developing there with not just guys that are on the depth chart, but guys that can go play. So there's a lot of good things going on both sides. But again, just too many costly mistakes. But we're repping everybody, repping 3 groups. So sometimes that stuff adds up, and we'll grow from it.
Hey, Coach, it's Trevor Gross from CUTigers.com. Have you started to see guys on both sides of the ball starting to accept and embrace DJ as the new leader of this team?
Oh yeah, I mean, everybody has unbelievable respect for DJ. I mean, he earned that last year, last spring, last summer. Last season, they all respect DJ tremendously, and he's done a lot of good things. But he's still, you get reminded quickly he's not been the starter yet. Outside of a couple games, he's still, we're trying to put him in as many situations and expose him as much as we possibly can, so that he can grow. We need him to grow, and he made some mistakes today, a couple critical mistakes in the red zone that we can't make, whether it be the right decision in the run game or just protecting the football, protect the ball, situational awareness. Don't try to do too much, play within the system. And, but absolutely, he's got tremendous respect from his teammates.
Hey, Dabo, you said you loved the running game today. What exactly did the running backs do that made you feel that way?
They all made plays. They all ran tough. They all ran physical. Super and we did coming out, we did goal line, first and goal on the floor to win the game. We emphasized the run today offensively. Really wanted to challenge our defense. And I just was really impressed with every single one of them. I mean, we got a very good group, but I just thought they were tough. We had some guys make some big plays, some long plays, and but all of them showed up. Every single one of them. Not a single one of those running backs was disappointing today. I mean, it's a lot of competition at that position. That's a group that has a chance to be special.
Hey, Coach, it's David. Going back to the offensive line there, are you trying to rep maybe a first group together, seeing as how they didn't get a lot of time last spring, or are you kind of mixing and matching? Maybe Paul Teo gets time with Hunter Rayburn, and, would you consider maybe putting a first group together a little bit in the spring game?
No, we split them up and we've mixed them up, all spring. I mean, our first Bachhorst has not done any live work. We all know what he can do. So T.O. has pretty much, been the starter in there at left guard, and he's done a great job. It's been really good for him. Bach has worked, guard and center all spring with all of our team separate install stuff. But he's not done any live work. And so that's been great. It's been great for Rayburn. It's been great for Trotter. It's been great for T.O. We've mixed all those guys up in there and challenged them. So I'm really, really pleased with the progress that we've made. And with all those guys, Big John Williams, he's making a lot of progress. Brian Tucker is coming on. I hate that we haven't had Trent Howard out here. He's not been able to go. He got mono, and he's a guy that we have high hopes for, and he hasn't been able to do anything. He's getting better. Marcus Tate has really impressed. Walker Parks is a new starter for us, and he's not done anything to dampen the enthusiasm that we've had for him as a player. He's got a chance to be a really special tackle for us. Jordan McFadden's been great, Putnam. Pleased with all that group. But, without having Bach going live, we've mixed guys. Rayburn's, played some guard, played some center, so was Trotter. But T.O. has really, really done a great job. And, feel good again about the functionality of that group. I really, we're not there yet, but I really feel like by the time we get through camp in August, we'll be back where we used to be, the previous couple of years. And that's having, 9, 10, 11 guys that can not just be on a depth chart, but literally go play winning football for us. Because that was a problem for us last year.
Hey, Dabo, this is Anna with Clemson 24/7. How did the wide receivers look today, and anyone in particular stand out?
It was actually a really good day. We've got, obviously Ross is out. Latson is not out there this week. And who am I forgetting here? So maybe there's one more. Oh, Speck, my man Speck. Speck is not, he's out this week as well. So, we're down 3 guys, and but man, it's been great. Really pleased with what Joe has been able to do this spring. He made a huge play in the 2-minute, made a couple big plays today. Joe has made great strides. He is night and day from where he was in August. He's still got a ways to go, but man, he has made big strides. He just has a much better understanding of what we're doing. Ngata, it's good to get him out there in a scrimmage situation again today. And we all know what Ngata can do. He creates a matchup problem. He draws PIs. He's a physical kid. He did a nice job. EJ's probably had maybe his 3 best practices in a row, just from intensity, attention to detail, his physicality, making plays, really pleased with him. The 2 young guys are off the charts, man. I'm gonna tell you, I love Dakari Collins and Bo Collins. These are 2 great young players. Dakari made a huge play today. Bo made a couple plays. Really doing a good job. And Will Brown and Will Swinney, those 2 guys, man, have done a great job for us in the slot with Ross and Speck out. Those guys have really had great springs. Both of them made, a lot of plays today. Drew made several plays today. Max May had a touchdown catch today. So just that whole group of receivers have really performed well and blocking well on the edge. And that's one of the reasons that we were able to pop some things in the running game because of some of the perimeter blocking that we're getting out of those guys. So really pleased with the group. Obviously, we get Latson and Justin Ross and Speck back in there, and we got Stiletto coming this summer. We've got a chance to be an elite group there.
Dabo, this is Larry. How did Puma Sean look today?
Yeah, this is his first time to really scrimmage because he missed the first one before the break, and he did a lot of good things. I love his ability to create. I had to kind of challenge him and DJ today to quit acting like they got that purple jersey on and really play as if they're live. I think sometimes they can get in a little bit of but it's how we got to practice. But I like some of the plays that he made with his legs. He made a couple of really nice throws and good body language to him. And again, this was his first live scrimmage work in the stadium, since the season. So it was a solid day. He might have some plays he'd like to have back, but he's a guy that's got to continue to progress for us. And then Hunter went in there, and I thought he did a solid job as well, and had a couple of nice plays. But all three of them made some mistakes, that we've got to learn from. But they're progressing in the right direction.
Dabo, this is Grace from The Athletic. Before y'all went on spring break, I think it was Trenton Simpson was telling us about how the defense still has very much not forgotten the playoff. It comes up in the locker room a lot. What have you just observed from Venables this spring as he looks to make improvements after these last two playoffs?
I mean, just going back to work. It's what we do every year. We go back to work. Getting those playoff games. Listen, we've been on both sides of that. 2 years ago, we won by 28 points against the team that just won it this year. Those games, it's hard. We took our lumps the last couple of years, but you got to be ready in those moments. But you got to be good enough to get there. So it ain't like it's all bad. So just more of the same. We've been really, really good on defense around here for a long time. And, Brent's as good as it gets. But our eyes aren't in the rearview mirror. Our eyes are forward. It's about this team. It's about getting this group ready, for the opener on September 4th. We got a long way to go. We got some time to get the work done. But I've just seen the same commitment from Brent Venables that I've seen ever since he got here. He's always been locked in, focused, fully committed, gives his best every single day that he walks in the building. He gives his best, and you can count on that.
Dabo, this is Matt. With Bo and Dakari, what is it about those freshman receivers in particular that you really like?
I like their mentalities. They're tough kids. They're as I've said a couple of times, way ahead of the curve. For a typical freshman, as far as just the foundation that you got to have to be a good receiver at this level. They catch on things quick, but fundamentally, technically, they're further along than a typical freshman. Those guys are well coached, well prepared. They attack the football and they finish plays. So they're just two really confident high school seniors that are out here practicing with the Tigers, and they're just going to get better.
Dabo,
And go ahead.
Dabo, looking at the linebacker core, I know you said you were pulling Jamie back a little bit this spring, letting some other guys get some snaps. How are Keith McGuire looking in the freshman Jeremiah Trotter when they get their snaps in there?
Those guys have been great, man. We got an outstanding. There's a reason why we only signed one linebacker, in this class, and we're only going to sign one. You better go get a great one, and that's what we did in Trotter. Trotter is a really, really good football player. Very natural. He's got a bright future for us. Super excited about him. And, but one of the reasons we only signed one guy is because we love our roster. We love Kane Patterson and McGuire and Bentley, Jake and Trenton, Sergio. We love the guys that we have. And, McGuire's going to be a redshirt sophomore. And, the game is slowing down. It's not an easy position to play. Bentley has been awesome this spring. He's going to be a redshirt sophomore. So, I'm really pleased with what I've seen out of that group. Swint he's a very natural player, and he's cross-trained. He's playing backer, playing DN. He's doing a little bit of both, and he's a guy that'll be on the field somewhere. He's going to help this team. He'll be a redshirt freshman for us, he and Sergio. And then Trenton Simpson is, he's working, Will, he's working Sam, and is a guy that we can do a lot of things with. He's made a lot of progress. He was great for us as a true freshman, and he's on his way to, having another great year for us if he stays healthy, because he's just at another level from a knowledge standpoint.
Dabo, this is Matt again. I know you said you want to see Tyson develop. Depending on what happens there, is there any chance you guys could go to the portal and try to bring in a backup QB or someone to compete for the backup job?
No. I mean, that's unless somebody left. We can't go recruit a high school kid in May. So somebody packed up and left on us, we'd have no choice. But we recruited Ty. We believe in Tyson Pumachan. He's a guy that he's going to be a redshirt sophomore, and he's the third guy last year, but he's a critical piece to what we're trying to do, and we're excited about his development. And hopefully, we didn't get a full spring last year, didn't get a proper summer, skills and drills, all those type of things, and that's huge. DJ is an elite talent, and that's not just because he won that backup job last year. That's not a knock against Tyson. Tyson has got a chance to be a great player, and he's got a chance to help this team this year. We're going to need him. We need his skill set, and there's some things that he brings to the table that excites you. So if he'll just continue to come along, I think he's got a chance to be an outstanding player here. So as far as the portal, we got two guys coming in here this summer. We got Bubba Chandler coming in here. We got Will Taylor. So we're excited about that. We got a young man named Billy Wiles coming in. So we've got some other guys and help on the way. It'll be a lot of competition this fall.
Coach, this is Todd in Spartanburg. A little bit more on Tyson. How much did it hurt him to be out a little bit? This seems like a crucial time for him.
Yeah, I mean, mentally he's engaged and in a good place, but he couldn't practice it at the beginning. But he's not a rookie. I mean, he's been here 2 seasons now. So going into that redshirt sophomore year, this is a big week for him, and big spring and big summer. And again, he's a critical piece to the puzzle for us this fall.
Dabo, what was your evaluation of Galloway and Davis Allen over the entirety of last season, and what are some of the specific things you're sort of looking at them to improve?
Yeah, well, they complement each other well. I thought Braden, really had a good year last year. Really kind of his first time to kind of go, be the guy, and he did some good things, but he's still a developing guy. He's got to have a huge summer. Same thing. Didn't really get a full spring. Didn't get the proper summer. There's a big difference between working out and training, and he didn't get to train properly. And he's a guy that really needs it. But Braden is he's a pro. He'll play on Sunday. Davis Allen is the complete tight end. I mean, whatever you want in a tight end, he's got everything. He is the complete guy. And Braden is a developing guy that's going to leave here as a complete guy. He was a basketball player. He was undersized as far as and now he's become a physical kid. He's really worked hard in the weight room. He's special when it comes to making plays and yards after the catch and all that stuff. Now he's got great understanding of the game and the position. So they just complement each other really well. And I think both of them, got great futures here at Clemson, and both of them are going to be, great NFL players one day. There's no doubt about it. So, but we got a lot of work to do, to get them to maximize their potential. But Braden is just about, having a great summer. And then, he hurt his finger. He's not gonna be able to play next week because he hurt his finger. So we're having to do a little minor surgery on his finger. So he'll be out a couple of weeks. But Davis has had a huge spring. I mean, he's just, like I said, a complete, hard to find guys like him. And he's got great combination, size and speed, toughness and knowledge, technique, understanding of the nuances of the position. But we've knocked it out of the park at tight end. That's a position we have a chance. I think we got a chance to be elite at running back, at tight end, and certainly at receiver, and so much better in the offensive line. But the tight end position with Brenning Stool and Sage Ennis, same thing with Sage. He broke a finger, so he's had a great spring. He's going to be out next weekend. He's having surgery, I think, Monday or Tuesday on his finger. Kind of a weird deal with 2 tight ends with their finger. But Sage Ennis, man, he has had a great year. He'll be a redshirt freshman. He's 250. He's as physical guys we got on this team, and I really like what he's done this spring. And then Jake Brenningstool is a playmaker, and he just got to get some lead in his butt. Big summer for him, man. He's a natural. He's long. He had 2 touchdowns today. He just makes plays. So it's a dynamic group. So between our receivers and running backs and tight ends, this is probably as good a skill group as we've had around here in a long time, and it's exciting.
Dabo, another one of those freshmen that you got there on the defense, Peyton Page. Love to hear your thoughts on him.
Doing well. He's made good strides. High school kid coming in here. I love his toughness. I love his willingness to be coached. He's eager to learn, and he is a load. He's got a chance to be a special player as well. He's got a lot to learn, but his natural ability, his get off, his push, his ability to create another line of scrimmage when the ball snapped, really makes him unique. Hard to find guys like that. He's got to have a big summer as far as becoming elite with his nutrition, and just getting his body where it needs to be for this level and the type of endurance he needs. But he's a great young talent.
Coach, as you know, we talked to Coach Spiller the other day. He was such a prolific return man, but obviously you can't teach things like his speed and some of the moves that he had in the open field. Are there still some things that he can impart in the return game?
Spiller?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got a lot of knowledge, man, and he's. In fact, we had a big return today. Mikey Dukes broke a long one today, and so I just think the pride that he took in that is one thing that I know he'll transfer to those guys, and because he's coaching them, and he's going to take a lot of pride in who he puts back there and the details of what we're doing, and really understanding the timing of the blocks and scheme, because all that stuff matters. But we're going to have a good group return-wise.
We've got time for 1 or 2 more.
Hey,
Yeah,
Coach,
who
it's
are the
David
top
again.
two?
What have you seen out of maybe some of those backup defensive linemen like Capehart, Trey Williams, Greg Williams, some of those guys that we don't necessarily hear about a lot?
Yeah, Greg's making a lot of progress. He's going to be, I guess he's a redshirt sophomore and still transitioning fully to the DN. And I love where he is. I love his mentality. I love his commitment. I think he's a guy that's going to be a kid that going to just keep getting better. And, nobody really says much about him, but we'll look up here in a couple of years and everybody's going to be going, dang, that Greg Williams turned out to be a great player. That's kind of what I see in him, because I think he's made the right stuff, and excited about him. Those young guys, Capehart's making progress. He's a different guy than he was this time last year, just like a deer in headlights. Trey Williams, is as advertised. He's a special talent, explosive. He's got a great knack for finding the ball. He's tough. He's still got, fundamentally and technically to improve. He's got to improve with his knowledge. And, he was hurt, had shoulder surgery last year, played a couple games, but really, really excited about all those young guys, man. And same thing, with Peyton. And then, Brzee, I notice him every single day. I notice Brzee. I mean, every day. There's not a day that goes by that I don't notice number 11. He had a safety today. I mean, he is just a problem, and he's passionate about it. So I'm excited about all those young guys that come in here, and they've got a bright future in that group.
We'll go to Larry for the last one.
Yeah, I was just curious how the tackling has been in the secondary with your safeties and corners.
Not great, to be honest with you. Not great, nowhere near good enough. Anywhere, linebacker, we're not tackling well enough on defense at all. We got work to do there.